Welcome to a new episode of the TF Motorsports Podcast. This is a extra episode as we're here now, here with Hayden. And today we got two things we're going to talk about. All right, so first of all, we have a brand new Monster Jam video game, and we also have news on Hot Wheels. So once again, I want to welcome back Hayden to the podcast. Hayden, how are you today?
I'm doing great, man. I can't wait to talk about the new Monster Jam game and what Hot Wheels has in store. Really exciting.
All right, so just a couple of days ago, Monster Jam announced a brand new Monster Jam video game because first we had Steel Titans 2 for quite some time, and they kept advertising it ever since like 2021, I think. But after all that time, we got a different developer, I believe it's Milestone, who did the Supercross and the Hot Wheels series. With a new game called Monster Jam Showdown, which there's two different trailers that are out. One is the official announcement trailer and gameplay trailer. Also on the internet, there is some images that have resurfaced of the outdoor tracks and one of the stadium tracks that has been revealed. So what's your first initial thoughts on this?
Okay, so the first time I seen the whatever it was, the teaser, the announcement trailer background, the trucks on there, I thought those were like actual shots of the trucks. But then when I looked closer I was like, holy crap, this is actually the game. It looks really good. Initial thoughts on the trailer, I kind of didn't like that they opened it with like the fantasy elements first off, but as the trailer progressed, I could see like a lot more of the details and everything that was going on with it. I was like, wow, this actually looks pretty good. This is a pretty promising game. It kind of reminded me of the Monster Truck Championship, which was released in 2021, I think, but very, very good initial thoughts on the game.
Yeah, I got some pretty high hopes on the game, honestly, because Milestone they made the Supercross series. I played one of their games. They do really well with their motorsport stuff, and from how the trucks look in these screenshots that we have, I think this is the best models we've ever seen of these Monster Jam trucks. Because um, these the last few games, obviously, with technology and advancing, they're trying to adapt, but then we had with the latest technology, first was Crush It, which obviously was a massive failure. Steel Titans was 50-50. However, they were a little bit too, I think, narrow in a way. But with these new trucks now, it's just every little detail is in the game, and it just looks fantastic from top to bottom.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Like you said, the trucks look phenomenal, and I think we're finally getting a front engine Max D in the game. I mean, I'm probably wrong there, but still, just the Willman chassis for the Max D looks very great. Looks super realistic. And like you said, Milestone, they do a lot of motorsports games, and in the past, they actually had a Monster Energy and a Monster Jam stunt truck on their Atlanta track, and I was thinking to myself, maybe one day they'll produce a Monster Jam game, and well, here we are now.
Yep, and also joining in the call is monster.jam.loser.tx. Welcome on board to the podcast.
Hey Thomas, how are you?
Doing pretty good. So what's your first initial thoughts on the all-new Monster Jam video game that has been revealed within the last couple of days?
I was pretty caught off guard to say the least, because this had, at least to me, this had no warning of coming out. And I kind of just was randomly scrolling through social media, and I all of a sudden saw a trailer, and I was like, oh, what could this be? Looked at it, and to say I was mixed was an understatement.
Yeah, so we also have a couple of things shown as well. Um, Also just shown in the community. There's also going to be a little special deal that people can get these two different DLCs for free if they pre-order the game when they announce when that happens. They get two different packs, one involving NEA Police and looks to be front engine maximum destruction, and then the other pack is Big Kahuna and Backwards Bob. And from what we see from the concepts, again, it just looks absolutely amazing.
I do have to agree with that. The truck models do look pretty good.
Yeah, for double packs, or not double packs, but the DLCs. I was blown away that Big Kahuna was in the game. I never thought it would have been in the game. And then also, if you look closer on the front of the grill, it actually says Bronco on it, which is crazy to me. So we're actually getting licensed bodies, even on well, we're going to talk about some other trucks later, I think. Those trucks also have some officially licensed logos on them, which I was blown away by. So maybe we'll see some more trucks in the game that are licensed.
Yep. So from some of the stuff we saw, we got Gravedigger, we got Lucas Stabilizer, Zombie, Thunderoris, Max D, the regular Max D. I think that one will be CRD, which is pretty fitting. And in one of the screenshots where Gravedigger's jumping over Thunderoris in this outdoor circuit racing event, you could see in the background Raisin Cane. So
that really came as a surprise to me when I saw Raising Cane. I actually, because like it hasn't ran in Monster Jam for a while, right?
yeah,
I think 2018, 2017. I could be wrong, but like it's a big surprise to see it. Yeah, 2020. It was a big surprise. And of course, like Hayden said, it has a licensed body. And if you look closely, it has a Ram body, and it also says Ram on the grill.
So, with the Raising Cane partnership, that absolutely blew me away as a Florida fan too, because Buddy Tompkins and their team down here are native to Florida. So I was going insane. Everyone else in our little group chat we had were going insane because we're all from Florida. So very glad to see that truck in the game, and maybe we can see some more Raising Cane monster trucks into the game.
yeah. So what we have listed from somebody is that there's going to be roughly around 40 trucks in game and 26 trucks through DLCs. And it also says more than 140 paint jobs to unlock and apply. I think that is a new record.
That almost go on.
That has got to be because we've never seen, and already this game is already proving to be massive. Like you said, you got all these scheme. That is probably the most trucks I think we've ever seen, and I'm hoping they're not meaning by like which they're probably meaning by the paint schemes is Max D Fire, like regular Max D. But if it's just 66 different identities, that's gonna be absolutely insane because we've never seen anything like that from another Monster Jam game. And then also paint schemes, we could see special stuff like the All-Star Challenge, Superstar Challenge, World Finalist paint schemes. It's going to be absolutely crazy.
Even that, it could also be like fresh new concepts too.
True.
Yep. So as of right now, there is no other information about the game. But they do have a social media pages now for the game. And yeah, so we're just excitement is through the roof. I'm honestly like really optimistic about the game. The last several Monster Jam games I was kind of 50-50 on, but this one I got really high hopes for with the developers and how it looks, and even seeing the first bits of gameplay from one of the trailers. It definitely puts a smile on my face, and I might have to buy an Xbox.
Well, it's gonna be on any console actually. On the trailer, it listed Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, so PC. So it's gonna be available to all platforms, which is another great thing. I know initially they had it where they were partnered with Xbox, but then we got the second teaser. There's actually two teasers by the way, and they released that they're going to be on all consoles, which is great.
Yeah, this game definitely looks interesting. I'm just like all other fans, I'm trying to be very careful because, like, Steel Titans games, we were very hyped that this was going to be a simulation, and the physics in the first one were not very good. Steel Titans 2 is definitely an improvement, and to me, I actually like the game, but some others didn't. So I think we are going to have to set our expectations a bit low. Obviously, you can still be excited, but obviously lower them so you don't be very disappointed.
Yeah,
And to me, this game, it looks good so far. I just hope they fix the physics and hopefully they make some improvements to the track. Who knows? It could be a beta, but they do have to fix some stuff up.
I do agree with the low expectation or the aspect of low expectations because I remember when Monster Jam Crush It came out, we had a PlayStation 3, and it was only going to be available on PlayStation 4, and we thought, oh my god, this looks absolutely insane. This is the greatest thing ever. And then it came out, and we seen what happened there.
Yep. So as of right now, the last bit of new news about the game is that now Monster Jam is going to hang up those banners instead of Steel Titans 2, as I've just seen a screenshot from El Paso. So, yep. So it's going full circle. New game. Um, Keep your fingers crossed, and hopefully this will be the next big deal in Monster Jam, and not just Monster Jam, but Monster Truck Gaming.
Yeah, I have high hopes, but like I said, lower them a little bit. But I do have high hopes because, like, this is the same people who ironically made Hot Wheels Unleashed and also Monster Energy Supercross, which is also owned by Feld, and those games were actually pretty good. I played a couple of them, and I I'm excited.
Yeah, I actually got Hot Wheels Unleashed on the PlayStation and Nintendo Switch. It's a very great game. So after playing it a few times, I think this Monster Jam game is in pretty good hands.
Yeah, let's hope they don't mess this up, because like this this game has a lot of eyes on it, and it needs to be good.
Yes.
Yep. So, once we get more information on the game, we'll let you know here on TF Motorsports, here on Motorsports Hour. Before we get to our other piece of information, just want to remind you guys that Motorsports Hour is coming back here on TF Motorsports beginning in June with Burnley, New Jersey at Miller's Farm to start things off. We'll keep going throughout the year and end it off in October at Accord Speedway. So currently the schedule is posted on a video as well on social media on Instagram. There might be some other dates added if we could find more, but as of right now, it's so far listed at 8 events. Because once we get to the Middletown Fair, we're going to try to go through the whole weekend of first here on TF Motorsports. So all the monster truck coverage is coming up. So stay tuned for that when we get there. All right, so coming up now, Hot Wheels. Now, obviously, Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live. They started up in 2019, brought back that Thunder National type of style track, and had some pretty decent moments. Then eventually, after trying to build, the COVID-19 pandemic struck and halted plans. The 2021 hit back, just like Monster Jam, reconstructing themselves and getting back to the swing of things. And now 2024 so far has been very, very big for Hot Wheels. They went to Paris, France, and had this first ever stadium show with dirt, and it was completely different compared to any other Hot Wheels show. And now they're starting to go into Monster Jam territory. We got Tacoma, Pittsburgh, Bridgeport, Bridgeport, Connecticut, just to name a few. So And Monster Talk, shout out to him. He brought this up as well. That it literally seems like they're going to be going into pretty much competition with Monster Jam as the premier monster truck series. So the reason why I'm bringing this up right now is because honestly, this is a big deal. We haven't seen a tour really compete with another one like this.
So for me, you can look at this either way. You can either look at this as a negative, or you can look at it as a good or a positive. So not necessarily it's a bad thing because some people. I mean, I've been to a Hot Wheels monster truck show before. I've always wanted to go to one. I finally got to go to one. It was a pretty decent show. It was family friendly, definitely more family friendly oriented. But we went to it and or it going to different cities just gives people a chance to see it instead of having going out of the way. But like you said, it could be a negative, or it could be a negative too for a Monster Jam because it could leave a bad um viewpoint on monster trucks because I hate to say it, but all you're seeing at those shows is just a truck doing like a soft or like barely hitting the cars and it just goes over and it could leave a bad taste in people's mouths of monster trucks.
Yeah, I do agree. Like I I was actually at the one in November at Fort Worth and kind of between Dallas and Fort Worth, but I went there and like I wasn't expecting much, and to me, it was okay. Like dirt is all they need to make it a good show, and also massive ramps. Because right now, I'm not saying crushing cars is bad apparently, but like they do need more than that. And plus, the trucks aren't really doing anything insane other than crushing cars. And I also heard that the competitions are rigged. Don't quote me on that, but like the shows are just okay. They do need improvement, and I'm glad they're bringing dirt into this because it really does help it a lot.
Yeah, so another thing is Tacoma, the Tacoma Dome is definitely a bigger facility. Do you think there's going to be dirt at that facility, or are they going to just go and do a concrete track?
For sure,
Um,
they are going to use dirt because you can't just use crushed cars and just expect the show to be good with that massive floor. I I actually went to the Tacoma Dome for my I went there from 2008 all the way to 2016, and it's a massive arena, and using just crushed cars is not going to work.
I agree with Monster Jam Loser. The track is or the arena is massive because I know in the past Monster Jam has technically held stadium tier events there with like massive lineups and it's such a huge space and you compare it to like a size of a regular car in there and that little track that Hot Wheels does just about or actually does it every single weekend, it will not hold up in that arena, and I really think it'll be very boring for fans going there. So hopefully they take their Paris, France show and do the same thing they did at in Tacoma. Because that show was to me, I watched the videos on it. It was a very great show in my opinion, just for what it was. You actually seen a few rollovers, some pretty good airs. So hopefully they take notes from that show, put it into the Tacoma show, and it'll be a great event.
And now another question about this whole topic about Hot Wheels and their recent expansion, especially with them going into like 3 or 4 different tours at a time. Do you think at some point that do you think that Hot Wheels would actually go into the United States' stadiums? Do you think that's actually going to be possible at some point?
I think it's pretty possible. I mean, we're going like right now they're going into bigger venues that Monster Jam goes into. So, I say if they step up their game like they did in Paris, if they do what they did in Paris, I really think Hot Wheels can go far if they just amp up their competition just a little bit maybe get some other independent drivers in there that drive. I'm nothing against any of the drivers on the tour, but some more heavy hitters in there. For example, maybe like Como Motorsports or something like that. More trucks, heck, even throw in some independent identities from Hop, and then also that gives more merchandise out. But yeah, I think they can take off if they do it in Paris.
I do agree. Like, I do think they have the capability to do so. Obviously, running 4 tours at a time, like Thomas said, it's a lot of money than a lot of people think. And I think if they shorten down just a little bit, like to maybe 2 tours, like Stadium and Arena, for example, maybe they'll have enough money to do both dirt stadiums and also concrete floor at arenas.
Yep, so it's going to be a pretty interesting future in the sport of monster trucks. Well, technically, well, Hot Wheels rather is more of family entertainment, but Monster Jam does have a sport in it. But now, what is this? Where does this leave the other tours, though? Even though that they're in speedways and fairgrounds, in the future, if both Monster Jam and Hot Wheels goes to the same areas with like them, instead of like them taking over each other, instead, if they like stay as like the Tacoma Dome, where it looks like it's going to be both Monster Jam and Hot Wheels in the same year, do you think this might steer away some people away from local events, possibly?
Do you mean like people that attend Hot Wheels, steering them away from other events after going to it, or just
Like
promoters?
like going to Monster Jam and Hot Wheels back to back. Do you think some people might get monster trucked out or something?
Um, I see it as a possibility. I mean, heck, even sometimes I'm like, I don't really want to go to a show because I'm tired. But after going to so many shows, but it's definitely a possibility because some people are going to have to choose between the two, or they're gonna be like, or like say Hot Wheels or Monster Jam comes in beginning of the year, then like middle of the summer someone's like or like kids or adults are like, hey, let's go to the show. They're like, no, we already went to one this year, so it's a possibility. But then also, if people really like the show they go to, they're gonna see another monster truck event. And they're gonna be like, hey, this was awesome last time we went to it. We should go check it out.
Monster Jam Loser Texas. What do you think?
I I do agree with Aiden on this. Like, it could steer away some fans, but at the same time, like he said, it could maybe attract some more fans because, like, yeah, people might say that they enjoyed this show and they'll go again. But it could really go both ways, honestly. There's no real one solution to this problem, and there isn't really a simple answer to solve it either. I think I think it's just something we're gonna have to deal with in the future.
Yeah, I think personally it might be just up to the might be up to the people who own the buildings, the arenas and stuff like that. I think it might be up to those guys to make the call, either to keep just one tour or have both. So, yeah, just like as you guys said, it could go either way because we've never had a monster truck like company war like this before, or like it's not a war yet, but it's starting to form a little bit. Like now that we're seeing Hot Wheels and Monster Jam arenas, so it's really it's pretty a new concept in a way. So it's yeah, for me, I'll agree with you guys. It's kind of hard to predict.
Yeah, I can agree with the war too because I definitely see Monster Jam taking their new ramped up show and taking it to arenas that Hot Wheels are at, so they can jab back at them. I see that as a possibility, make some more money. So I see a war coming.
It's definitely not too far away. Uh, yeah, it's kind of seems like Monster Jam is actually getting actual competition now. Like, rivals for the biggest monster truck league ever. I think Monster Jam still has an edge because, like we said before, it's more of a sport, more like Hot Wheels is more of family entertainment, and it's not really televised.
Yeah.
Yep. Again, with the future, really anything can happen. But if this thing heats up any farther, we will be covering it here on TF Motorsports for sure, because this is pretty groundbreaking for the industry.
Yep. I can't wait for the Hot Wheels Monster Trucks versus Monster Jam show. I'm ready to see it.
And I cannot wait to see what they do.
Definitely should get your popcorn. So that is going to be it for the TF Motorsports Podcast Extra, where we talked about the all-new Monster Jam video game that is going to be coming out this year, as well as recent new tour stops for Hot Wheels that could interfere with Monster Jam and could cause pretty much some big um, battle for the number one spot. So that could be pretty chaotic. Any final thoughts on both topics, guys? We'll start with you, Hayden.
So video game, very excited. Basically what Monster Jam Loser said. I wouldn't keep your hopes high. Be excited for it, be ready for it, but just go into it with low expectations. Hot Wheels Monster Trucks live. I'm really excited to see it at the Tacoma show, see how it plays out, and I can't wait to see the Monster Jam versus Hot Wheels war. Those are my final thoughts for this episode.
My final thoughts are like, I'm excited for the Tacoma show. I can't wait to see what they do in such a big market too, like the US instead of Europe. That's gonna be very interesting to see. And the video game, like I said, lower your expectations, and we just have to hope that they fix the physics, the tracks, and hopefully the game will be good. At least better than Steel Titans.
All right, so that'll do it with the episode here on the TF Motorsports podcast. Hayden, Monster Jam Loser, thank you guys for joining me. And we'll see you guys next time on the next episode of the podcast, which will be the next episode tomorrow. We'll be going over Monster Jam NASCAR and Monster Energy AMA Supercross. We'll see you guys next time.
Yep, thank you. See you guys later. Be sure to crush the subscribe button.
Thanks for tuning in. First episode, definitely more to come.